Last video here for the paper portion of your test are problems 8 and 9. Let's look at number 8. It says use a protractor for this problem. Are the lines below parallel to each other? How do you know? So when we want to check the relationship of two lines, like if they're parallel to each other or not, what we have to do, remember, is introduce a third line that will become a guide, or what's called a transversal. And how our transversal intersects these lines really does not matter whatsoever. So I'm just going to draw a line like this. It could be like this, or this, or this, or however you want it to be. It does not matter. So here's my transversal. We need to know our angle pairs formed when lines are parallel. So one of the angle pairs that we know, for example, are alternate interior angles, are congruent when two lines are parallel. So that means then if these two angles are not congruent, these alternate interior angle pairs, then the lines aren't going to be parallel to each other. So let's check it out. So this is what it means to use a protractor. I'm going to grab my protractor tool and shrink this a little bit. Okay, let's measure this angle. So I'm just going to line this baby up so that one side of my angle is on the 0 line, right? My vertex is right here in the middle of the protractor. So now I can measure nicely. I'm going to move this, and so it looks like to me that this angle that I made with my transversal, it's off a little bit. It looks like it's about, if we open it up from 0 here, we got to go 10, 20, 30, 60. Looks like 65 degrees. So my protractor says this angle is 65 degrees. So let's measure this other angle and see what's happening here. If it's 65 degrees also, then these lines are going to be parallel. If it's not 65 degrees, then we know the lines are not parallel. So when I do this, and I set up my protractor, here's my 0 line over here. So we got to open up this way. We're at 60, looks like 70, 72, 73, which is not 65. So since these are not equal, then these lines are not parallel. Okay, and that's how we know. So that's our writing. How do you know? I know the lines are not parallel because a pair of alternate interior angles are not congruent to each other. Okay, same deal with, well, on number 9 is just saying mark a pair. So corresponding just means that if I just identify any angle formed here, maybe like this one right here, then notice the position of this angle. If this was a transversal, because it cuts through these two lines, it's below the transversal and it's on the right side of the line. So the angle that's below the transversal and on the right side of the other line would be in a corresponding position. So this would be a pair of corresponding angles. So there is number 9 and number 10, or excuse me, 8 and 9 of your review.